Welcome into Sports with Balls. Happy hump day, man. Happy Wednesday, guys. Jeff Michael, here we go. Let's get into it, man. Lots and lots of sports going on, as usual. Team USA breaking our hearts last night. Man, Harper almost had him. Man, Bryce Harper almost had him, man. My goodness, dude. Welcome into the show, guys. Today's show brought to you by Hercules Geotechnical Consultants. Have a huge focus on geotechnical soil tests, residential and commercial construction, and building additions. Also, phase one environmental site assessments for banks, realtors that require commercial loans. Call Mark Fuentes today. That's at Hercules Geotechnical Consultants, guys. All right, man. Lots to get into. This is going to be a quick show. I'm doing it on my lunch break today. Woo! So, man, NFL basically playing fantasy football out there, which is interesting. Team USA broke our hearts, like I mentioned before. WNBA securing the bag. And March freaking Madness begins. All right. Let's go. Let's talk about it, guys. WBC, the World Baseball Classic. 1 to 10. What are you rating that? What are you rating the World Baseball Classic at 1 to 10? I'm going to go 7.5. It started out fantastic. It started out, I even went to game one with the USA. I was in it, and then it just sort of lost its luster as it went on, and especially in that final game. Just sort of looked like the USA didn't care. Either that or they played like shit. I mean, it could have been a mixture of both. But when you can't have your full lineup available, like Screwball probably should have been pitching that game. We should have had better relievers in. But the bats were terrible. And the last, I got to say, 16 innings. So, man, it was it just kind of, look, congratulations to Venezuela for winning. It was fantastic to watch them win. The emotion that went through it. It was awesome to see them. They were crying. The Houston Astros coach, the batting coach or bench coach, is their head coach, which I didn't know until later. That was fantastic. But it looked like the USA, they cared but didn't care, man. Bryce Harper made it very, very dramatic, and the kid prodigy came through in a huge way with a 2-run shot. I believe that was in the 7th inning. And just, man, it was great. It was great to watch, but it just kind of, when it was over, it was over. There was no, I mean, unfortunately, that Bryce Harper home run probably nobody will remember that. It just, when it was over, it was over. And it's sort of like, all right, now back onto MLB. So I don't know. WBC, I like it. It should stay where it's at. There's a lot of talk about it, kind of them doing it more often. Just leave it alone. I like it a lot where it's at. I think the USA batting average in the final was under 150. Ooh, they stranded 6 runners. The Venezuela bullpen, 0 runs allowed in the last 3 innings. And there you go, man. There you go. The Venezuela players were crying. Like, crying, it meant so much to them. I don't think the USA players would have been crying if they won. It would have been cool, and then it's off to your respective teams. So I like it. I like the World Baseball Classic. But if you're going to play it, have the guys play to their full abilities. We can't be restricting players. Gunnar Henderson had an incredible WBC. Bobby Witt, the defense that he displayed throughout the tournament was unbelievable, man. So you can make a lot of players in these kind of tournaments, and look, a lot of people knew Bobby Witt, but now he's a bona fide superstar with his defensive plays. And Gunnar Henderson, if he continues this throughout the regular season, you're going to see him come into a bona fide superstar. He played fantastic. Aaron Judge did Judge things when it comes to championship games and or clutch moments. Sorry, I'm a Judge fan. I really am. But I don't know exactly what happens to him in these big moments, but Aaron Judge just collapses a little bit, it seems. So we'll see what happens with all these guys in the regular season. It was fun. It was a blast. It kind of pumped up preseason baseball, if you will, spring training. But overall, 7.5 for me. Some people give it an 8. Some people give it a 9. I was at game 1. I was in Miami for the last few games. It was fun, man. It was fun. And by the way, that is not a USA town. For those of y'all who watch it on TV, y'all could probably figure that out. But that is not a venue in Miami that was rooting for the USA to win. Let's just put it that way. But I liked it. I think it should stay where it's at every 2, 3, 4 years, wherever it's at. I don't even know. I think it was 3 years and now it's 4. But the World Baseball Classic was fun to watch. USA loses again by the score of 3-2. Let's move on. The WNBA looks like they're coming to an agreement. It's not a done deal yet, but it looks like the WNBA will be the players will be getting more money. And as they should. I hate the argument about the WNBA should be getting as much as the NBA. Come on, man. The revenue is not even close to the same, and they want the same revenue share. That is just ridiculous. The fact of the matter is now they came to an agreement, and I don't even know who won these. I don't even know who won this, but the Players Association for the WNBA and the players have come to an agreement, and looks like they'll be playing ball. I think the game started April, but it's grown massively the last few years. Caitlin Clark, obviously a huge deal in that. So we'll see. I'd like to see the numbers on the Caitlin Clark games versus all the other games. They need a couple of superstars in there. And granted, listen, I'm not saying that they don't have them. I'm saying that they're just not marketed the way that Caitlin Clark is. So, and I'm sure there's girls that are just as good as Caitlin, or women. I'm sorry. I don't know which one. I might get in trouble for saying that. But we'll see. Caitlin Clark is definitely the standout player in that league, and as well she should be. She's an amazing athlete, and probably has a lot to do with what's going on. All right, let's take a moment to thank Novus Building and Design, where they believe building a home is more than just construction. It's a calling. Female-owned and family-run, guided by faith and commitment to integrity. They spent their entire career turning visions into reality through home building and remodeling services. Call Amanda 713-805-9513. That's Novus Building and Design. All right, now to the NFL. We're going to do NFL. Then I'm going to get into a little March Madness. And then I got to take my ass back to work. So hope y'all are enjoying this little 30-minute showdown. Oh, and by the way, at the end of this, I'll do my parlay of the day. Been on fire with this lately. If you guys are not following Sports with Balls on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that other stuff, follow them. The gambling thing has really taken off. I think I'm 15 from the last 20, which is unbelievable. So you guys pay attention to it. At the end of this, I'll do my parlay of the day. The NFL has gone ballistic, guys. Ballistic. I think 20 teams have made QB moves already. I'm going to try to go down this as fast as possible with as much. I'm going to hit all the points as I can, man, because the NFL has just flipped everything around. This is the most insane offseason I've seen. Multiple teams have changed starting quarterbacks. Like I said, 20-plus teams have made QB moves. The parity is wide open. Buffalo Bills added DJ Moore and Bradley Chubb. Guys, those are huge moves for the Buffalo Bills. I don't want any more excuses out of Buffalo. If you don't make it this year, at least to the Super Bowl, and you still have Josh Allen healthy, it's your fault. Miami Dolphins. Malik Willis, we knew he was going to go somewhere. Got a good contract. Obviously, Tua Tagovailoa is out of there. Let's see. They added Joshua Uche and Jalen Tolbert. They lost Tua, Jalen Waddle, and Bradley Chubb. Wow. Wow. So who's in the running for Arch Manning? Hint, hint, Miami. New England Patriots, they added Kevin Bynard, sorry. Romeo Dobbs, Draymond Jones. They did good. They did good. The Patriots, we're going to see if they can keep up what they did last year, but they've done well so far. The Jets added Geno Smith again. Minka Fitzpatrick, Demario Davis. I'm skipping right past that. I'm not even getting into it. Baltimore Ravens, Trey Hendrickson, stud. Absolute stud on defense for them. John Simpson as a guard and Jalen Hawkins as a safety. They lost Isaiah Likely, but that's fine. Of course, they have Mark Andrews still. And, of course, we saw Crosby fail the physical where he was going to go there. Dude, you were about to have Trey Hendrickson and Max Crosby on the same team on defense. Holy shit. That would have been unbelievable. Cincinnati Bengals. Let's see. Not too many. They lost Trey Hendrickson. That's pretty much the big news of theirs. Cleveland Browns, they added Titus Howard. Good ad. All offensive linemen. Titus Howard, Zion Johnson, and Elgin Jenkins. Pittsburgh Steelers, Michael Pittman Jr. and Rico Dowell, who I like. I like Rico a lot. They lost Kenneth Gainwell. Obviously, that's why they added Rico. And Calvin Austin, it wasn't that big of a deal. The Texans, Houston Texans have been busy. And I'm telling you, they may, if they stay healthy, the problem is C.J. Stroud. We all know that with the Houston Texans. But they added their right tackle, Braden Smith. They added running back David Montgomery and Reed Blankenship, a safety, and just added a Pro Bowl guard as well, Wyatt Teller. I mean, their offensive line is on point. The Texans may be a team to be reckoned with if C.J. Stroud can play well. Indianapolis Colts, they lost Pittman Jr. That's a big loss for them. We'll see how they do. They did sign Alec Pierce, and quarterback Daniel Jones is returning. Let's see. Biggest additions for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chris Rodriguez Jr. They lost Travis Etienne, hence the Chris Rodriguez thing. So can the Jaguars repeat last year? Tennessee Titans, I'm not even getting into them. We're just skipping right past. Now, the team that made a huge signing, Jalen Waddle, went to the Denver freaking Broncos. An already explosive offense. They added Jalen Waddle. Man, Bo Nix has got a team. Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, who didn't make the playoffs last year. Kenneth Walker III they add. And I believe they got a nice little backup quarterback now in Justin Fields, we heard the other day. So I guess go Kansas City. I hope that they do well. I think Kelsey's back again. So I don't expect too much from them. I don't know what their over-under is for DraftKings for wins, but I would 9 wins for Kansas City. Sound about right? The Raiders, like I said a minute ago, they kept their main man, Max Crosby, because of failing a physical in Baltimore. Now, that ought to be interesting how that all plays out. And we know the Raiders are going to pick up Fernando in the draft, so we'll see Fernando Mendoza. So we'll see how that all plays out. Chargers, nothing huge there. The Cowboys, nothing really big there. An outside linebacker, a safety, and a cornerback. The Giants got Isaiah Likely, like I mentioned earlier. They lost Wan'Dale Robinson. Eagles, they lost Reed Blankenship to the Texans. Or I'm sorry, not to the Texans. Or was that the Texans? Sorry. There's no huge things. They got a new cornerback. The Commanders, meh. Detroit Lions, Isaiah Pacheco and Teddy Bridgewater, both going to Detroit. They lost Montgomery to the Texans. Green Bay Packers, Sky Moore, Benjamin St. Just, a defensive tackle who's really good. Cornerback who's really good. They lost Dobbs and Malik Willis. Not that big of a loss. Let's see. The Minnesota Vikings. Here we go. Kyler Murray went to the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, man. I'm just not a huge Kyler Murray fan, and it's not just his talent. It's his attitude and his locker room personality. I've heard nothing but bad things about this guy. So I don't know how this is going to work out. You got Justin Jefferson there. You've got the makings of a decent team. Aaron Jones is a running back still. You know, what's gonna happen to J.J. McCarthy? I don't know. That is Minnesota's an interesting team right now going into the draft. We're gonna find out what happens. Atlanta Falcons signed Tua. Okay. Go. Michael Penix Jr. I don't know if is he going to stay healthy? Is Michael Penix Jr. going to stay healthy? Is he worth it? But now you've got two unhealthy quarterbacks in Atlanta, man. And I thought Atlanta was right on the edge. They were on the edge of being a pretty decent team last year. So now they got Tua and Michael Penix. We'll see what happens. Carolina Panthers added Jalen Phillips. Great outside linebacker. New Orleans Saints added Travis Etienne Jr. Not bad. Tampa Bay, Arizona lost, obviously, Kyler Murray. But they get Gardner Minshew. Good job. Good job. The Rams added Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. The Rams are going to be studs again. Watch out for the Rams. Mike Evans going to San Francisco. That is a great pickup. Brock Purdy needs to stay a little healthier. Who else we got here? I'm just trying to, like I said, I just skimmed through that as fast as I could, so you guys will get caught up on all the NFL trades going in to the draft, which is coming up pretty freaking soon. All right, guys, that's my NFL talk. I don't have too much else to go on about to the NFL. Let's go to my least favorite subject, and I'm willing to admit that, the NCAA tournament. I do not follow college basketball that well for the simple fact that these guys are one in and one out. They don't stay there long. I don't know who plays for who. I know the Boozer kids play for Duke. I do know that. My brother was trying to tell me about some other kids that are pretty good because he was talking about collecting their cards, and I'm like, man, I just don't know. These kids are in and out of these schools so fast, and they transfer. I have no idea who plays where. But that being said, I filled out two brackets. I believe I have Arizona winning in one and Florida, unfortunately, winning in the other. My brackets, let's see. I'm going to get into my bracket for a second. Let's see if I can pull it up on here. It's got to be on here, right? I put it on ESPN, and I think I'm going to do the Dan Patrick bracket as well as soon as I can. Duke and Siena. This is let me see if there's any upsets. Duke and Siena. Come on, man. That's not Ohio State, TCU. That wouldn't be enough. St. John's in Northern Iowa. A 12 Northern Iowa taking on St. John's, number 5. You know what? I'm going to go with the next one. Kansas and CA Baptist. I'm going to take CA Baptist. There's always one of these random teams, man. And I'm going to take Baptist over Kansas. Number 4 seed Kansas is going to be beat by a 13 seed. That's my or Furman versus UConn. No, I don't think Furman 15 will beat a 2. All right, let's slip over to the other one. Arizona, Long Island, Villanova. No. Wisconsin, High Point. No. Hawaii could upset Arkansas. 13 and a 4. Kenesaw State over Gonzaga. No, that ain't gonna happen. Missouri a 10 over 7. That Queens over Purdue a 15 over a 2. Not gonna happen. Let's see. Hofstra over Alabama. The only reason I would take that is because that Alabama kid got busted for 2.5 or 2 pounds of marijuana, and he's their leading scorer. So Hofstra could be coming in there, and that could be the 13 over the 4 seed. That would be interesting. Wright State over Virginia. Watch out for that one. Tennessee State over Iowa State. No, that's not going to happen. Idaho. I saw somebody pick this a minute ago. Idaho over Houston, 15 over a 2. No freaking way. Now, Penn over Illinois. That may be closer. Now, VCU's playing North Carolina. That's 11 over a 6. I'm not sure how much of an upset that would be, but an 11 beating a 6 wouldn't be too bad. And those are the only ones really that I could see kind of pulling off upsets. And look, we say this every year. You like these upsets. Everybody loves the Cinderella story. It's fine. The Cinderella story is absolutely fantastic, but just for a few rounds. Then you want your blue bloods. I want to see Duke versus Arizona, man, or Duke versus Purdue, or UConn versus Arizona. I don't want to see Keenshaw State versus one of these blue bloods. All right? I want to see a badass team. Michigan, listen, we could have a Duke versus Michigan final. Bring it on, man. That is what you want to see. That would be fantastic for the sport. Absolutely unbelievable. So you want the Cinderella stories are great, man. They're great, but you just want to see the blue bloods, and it all starts tomorrow night. All right, guys, I told you I would get to my parlay of the day. I have been doing these 17.5 point, I don't know, how would you explain it? Point different, or like largest lead. That's what it is. 17.5 largest lead in the NBA. So basically, if the game, either team gets to a 17 or 18 point lead in one of these games, or in any of the games, then you win the bet. If you go under, obviously under 17.5, over 17.5. Now, there's 3 games that I'm looking at tonight. Thunder at the Nets. The line is 20. So I'm taking the over 17.5 point lead. So I'm taking Thunder Nets. That's 1. I'm taking the Trailblazers Pacers game. The spread's 13.5. I'm taking that over 17.5. That means there will be a spread, or a time in that game that the lead is over 17.5 points. Jazz and Timberwolves, I'm taking that game as well to go over. And the Nuggets and the Grizzlies. So there's 4 of them in there. I'm going to pick 3. Give me the Thunder. That is a no-brainer. Give me the Trailblazers. Man, that's tough. Give me the Trailblazers for sure. I like the Pelicans lately, but so give me the Trailblazers, Pacers, Thunder game, and then give me the Nuggets and Grizzlies. That's your parlay of the day on the NBA. Already did some MLB stuff today, and I am not about to tell you guys what MLB games I took for preseason baseball. That's like a gambling addict. But podcast version coming straight up after this, guys, and I will do these short videos tomorrow. We'll put some more parlay of the days on the board. Jeff Michael, guys, I'm out of here.